What's good, Chaotic Nation? It's your boy Chaos here, and today we're going to be talking about the recent trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And much like we did with the starter Pokemon, we're going to be going through these Pokemon and what shiny forms they could potentially have, designed by Game Freak, in the coming games that we're going to see. Although maybe not the legendaries, because they're probably going to be shiny locked again. But I thought I would bring back this for these new Pokemon the same way I did for the starter Pokemon. So if you missed that video, we'll get into how we're going to be talking about these Pokemon. First, in the top left corner will be the original sprite, the one that is revealed by Game Freak. The top right is what I think Game Freak shiny will look like, something that they would do based on past experiences with Pokemon of the same type or the same color scheme. The bottom left is going to be a mixture of the two dynamics of Game Freak's shiny and my shiny, and then of course the bottom right is going to be what I ultimately would like to see the shiny be for each of these Pokemon. We're going to start off with this little boy to begin our shinies, and as an electric type and a rodent Pokemon, most likely the Pikachu clone of the game. I mean, it has the face just a big chunk of chew, but you know, just smaller than a Pikachu. It has a lot of varieties in the ways it could go with its shiny form. It could be a slight change. It could be something more drastic. So it was a really hard one for me to choose the shiny for, but I eventually went with this dark brownish, rustish color with a little bit of a tint of red in it. It doesn't change the Mana too much. It does change it enough, in my opinion, that it looks different and would be a really cool shiny to have. I just made the fur a darker color. We swapped out the green in the ears for a black, and the white highlights are more of a yellowish color, kind of resembling its electric power and its electric typing. So similar to what you would have seen maybe for a different Pikachu color if you wanted to do that. My combination is going to be a more of a pinkish color on this play. It's going to be more pink instead of brown. Instead of red, and have green inner ears instead of just a black, and also keep the yellow cheeks to kind of signify that it's still an electric type. I kind of like this one because it to me feels like a rodent, more like something you would see a hamster kind of look like, in my opinion, rather than something that's very orange or very yellow or incredibly a dark color. It's a light color, still make this Pokemon kind of lively, and that really plays into its electric typing, in my opinion. And finally, the one that I decided to create for it, it is this really, really light purple one. I decided to go absolutely crazy with this shiny sprite, and I wanted to get away from kind of the reds I was doing and go more towards a cooler color. So I went with this lavender for the fur, and then the eyes obviously being more purple, and the inner ears being still kind of the same color as the original. So that's a little bit of an homage back to the regular sprite, but kind of giving it more of like a jello, marshmallowy accent colors on the tail and on the feet. I feel like that's just a kind of a cool feature. It would be really awesome if this was an electric fairy Pokemon, and that would be a really nice shiny for an electric fairy. But it just was the vibe that went with me when creating this shiny form. I'd done the dark for the Game Freak shiny. I'd done a little bit of a lighter theme for the mixture, and I wanted to go completely out the wazoo. This is something I would never expect to see Game Freak do, but I really like the color of it, and I think it fits this Pokemon really, really well. Up next is everybody's favorite, Latron, and I think people like Latron just because the name is funny. But as a pig Pokemon, it's a pretty simple shiny change, in my opinion. And I went with this as a change for Game Freak shiny because it feels like a Pokemon that kind of would have an underwhelming shiny, you know? It's a Pokemon that's really popular at the moment. It's something that a lot of people like. So, you know, what do we do with that? Let's give it an underwhelming shiny. So it's basically a little bit lighter. It's more of a blue than a reddish color. And really nothing else changes, just the accent is more blue than it would be red. My mixture form is actually a pink pig with like dirt on the face. It kind of resembles a regular looking pig, and that's kind of what I was going for. It's basic, it would make a lot of sense. It resembles a real life pig, so I think it fits. but it's ultimately not something that I would totally want to see just because it's something that's too obvious. I feel like a pink shiny would be something that would fit this thing really well, but it's something incredibly obvious and I needed to experiment a little bit more. So I took it in a slightly different direction. Instead of doing pink, I went with orange. So it's more of a skin fleshy tone orange instead of the pink, which looks pretty cool in my opinion. It's just different than what you would have expected. And I think that's why for me, it's what I want to see, but what I don't think we'll ever see, because instead of being more geared towards pink, it takes more of a red tone, more of an orange tone, and you know, maybe change the dirt color a little bit, but I kind of felt weird making that lighter or darker because it's supposed to look like dirt. So I'm not going to make it look like something else by changing the color of it. I just feel like the orange kind of fits this Pokemon. I really expect the pink, but I like the orange idea. We got Smoliv as our next Pokemon that was announced. A nice little grass and normal type according to the website. And this honestly has a lot of potential to be really bad. And so I kind of went with a safe play, kind of playing into its plant vibes and making it more lemony. So in my opinion, I went with a lemon as the color scheme for this. I feel like Game Freak could do something like this. It's similar to like how Bellsprout would have been from a grassy green to more of a lemony yellow. I feel like it fits this Pokemon and definitely is something that grass types would have done to them in the past. My in-between is honestly something that I'm not super happy with, but it's still a cool looking sprite. It's more of an olive color. If we're basing this Pokemon off of an olive, it'd be cool to pay homage to the actual olive Pokemon by making it look like an olive. So it's kind of a dirty green, dirty yellow colored Pokemon. Not really that standout-ish, but something that could be a mixture of the two. And you should know where I'm going with this because apparently I really like black shinies. And so I went with a completely black Pokemon with some lighter green highlights on the little bit of grass leaves on the Pokemon. I know I've done this a lot, but this really gives me like Sunkern vibes, and this could be like some kind of like distant Sunkern relative. So I wanted to give it a shared shiny color scheme to Sunkern. Obviously Sunkern more of grayish colors inside of it as well as the black, but I feel like this just fits the Pokemon. It's different. It's something that I don't think Game Freak will do. I think a lot of people want to see this, but it's definitely my number one for this Pokemon because it just looks really cool. Getting to our first legendary here, this is actually a really cool looking Pokemon. You know, typings aside, we don't know that yet as of me recording this video. It could go a lot of different ways, so it was kind of hard to determine what the shiny would be like. I feel like Game Freak would play it relatively simple with a very basic color scheme. So we make the red skin more vibrant, playing into more of a lizard or a salamander kind of type color scheme. We change the pink highlights to a redder highlight, the blue highlights to more of a navy, and then the black, instead of being more of a charcoal, becomes a rich, dark, and deep black. It looks like a really cool looking Pokemon. I really like this color scheme. It's something that I could see a Game Freak doing with this Pokemon, but it's also something that is kind of basic in my opinion and could do so with some improvements. So the combination sprite I made is actually the black one, so don't get mad at me. It's not the one that I picked for myself. This kind of fits the vibe of it feels like a legendary Pokemon. Like black and white is such an easy color scheme to do. We didn't change any of the highlights here, so it keeps the traditional color scheme, but more or less we're just kind of swapping around the colors on the Pokemon originally. So instead of having like the white underbelly and the black features, we went with a white underbelly that is more vibrant and a very dark black skin tone for this Pokemon. It really accentuates, in my opinion, the highlights on the forehead hair and on the arms. So I like that feature of it, and it's just a different take than I think Game Freak would go. Still kind of giving the highlights an opportunity like we did with the Game Freak sprite, but also showcasing more of the features of the Pokemon in general. And my forum is completely crazy because I don't see this thing ever working out in Game Freak's mind, but it varies fairy-esque. I don't know why I went completely fairy. It kind of seems like a dragon Pokemon. That's why I'm like, oh, you know, pink, a very light pink. They'll never think of that. That looks really cool, and it does. The highlights are more of a light color. The skin becomes more of a pink. Of course, the white is still there as a nice neutral in the base, but we went from black to blue instead of just keeping a darker tone. I wanted to make it light, and we kind of just got this thing. So if it happens to be a fire fairy type, which I really don't think it will be, that would be 1/6 shiny. I think it looks really good. You know, I had to get away from apparently liking black shinies because they just look good, and I mean, you can't deny the black shinies look good. Like, look at the one we have here. It's really nice. But I like this pink for some reason. It's not what I would expect, and I think that's why I like it so much. So it's what I made, and I saw this, I'm like, yes, that is exactly what I wanted. I was going for more of a white color, but I think with the little bit of pink, it pays homage back to the red of the traditional skin tone, but also gives it a little bit more of a color instead of just being a pure white Pokemon, which I think just makes this thing look really sick. And finally, our Violet Legendary here. This one was kind of hard to deal with. Kind of a techno Pokemon. The purple really fits it. It's kind of got like some steely features to it, so I like that about it. But there are just a few things that could be tweaked to make it look better. Honestly, this sprite that I made for Game Freak would be, in my opinion, a way better looking Pokemon. It feels more clean, it feels more crisp, and it's simply just a change from a purple to more of a bluish violet color with a little bit more features accentuated because of the blue scheme. So it feels more techno to me because I feel like it would be more streamlined, more vibrant, rather than something that's kind of dull and dirty like that. The original purple color kind of looks dirty to me, rather than this bright blue-ish purple. Very much seems in your face and seems like a techno Pokemon to me. The mixed sprite takes some of that techno vibe and goes more gray, so it's more robotic rather than something that is more natural. I kind of kept the same original design for the tail and the lightning ears coming out of it, so that is more of a traditional color that we see in the regular sprite, but it does have more of the steely mechanical element that I think we'll see for this Pokemon. We've talked about throughout the week that Scarlet kind of seems like the past and Violet kind of seems like the future. So if we're going more futuristic, it'd be more robotic, more metallic, and I feel like this silver really fits the Pokemon for that. And of course, I had to do it. I had to make a black version of it because this looks freaking sick. It looks like some kind of like robot that's serpentine shadow kind of Pokemon, and I really like it. I saw this Pokemon, I'm like, it has to be a black shiny. It just has to be. Like, you can't tell me that this really sleek, polished black does not fit this Pokemon. Instead of having the more blue and yellow going through the middle, I swapped it for some gray and some lighter grayish tones, more of a reddish color instead of blue, just slightly. It's kind of pink in there, but I think this looks really sick. Like, you cannot tell me this doesn't look sleek. I like the idea of the metallic for a futuristic Pokemon, but why not give it like black plated armor to make it look even more menacing? Like, this thing looks absolutely crazy, and I just really like it. So decided to make it and hope it works out well for you guys. Speaking of that, let me know what's your favorite shiny that was made on this list. You can give me each one. You can give me individuals. You can just tell me what your overall favorite is. Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you let me know that too. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that way you don't miss any content from me. I've been doing a custom shiny dex where I change sprites of all Pokemon. So if you like this video and you want to see it done for more Pokemon, feel free to subscribe and check that out. I plan on getting back to that sometime soon with a lot of really cool shinies, and you can see some of the ones I've made. in the past as well. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like as well, because that really helps me out in the algorithm. It's really helpful for people trying to find videos on this topic that, you know, might not look at my small channel. They might go to a bigger channel and look at that. But, you know, if you enjoyed this video, let them know what you liked and share this with your friends, so that way they also can watch the video and give their own feedback on it. I'd love to talk more about this game. You can follow me over on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and follow me on TikTok for more conversations like this. Of course, you can join our Discord if you want to talk about Pokemon, if you want to talk about really anything in general. Just come hang out. Love to have you. Feel free to be a part of the community and just coexist with everyone else out there. But once again, I thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you want to see more, as I said, let me know in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys next time for some more Pokemon content. So until then, my name is Chaos, and I'm signing off. Stay safe, and as always, burn it up.